What's up everyone and welcome to Pixelmon 3.0, the biggest Pixelmon update in a very long time. You can see here I've got some cool guys on the left there. A bunch of new Pokemon have been added to this update. I'd say over 100, including some new ones and just updates to some old models, which you can already see over on the left side. There's Bulbasaur, which is an old Pokemon with a new model, and in this video I'm going to be going through all of the new Pokemon. You can take a look at the PC box here and get a little bit of a glimpse of that, and we're going to be going through and checking out all of these new Pokemon and their models and what they look like. And if you guys have not yet updated to Pixelmon 3.0, I will be linking a link. And if you guys would like to play Pixelmon 3.0 right now and play with all of these new Pokemon introduced, there will be a link in the description to the website of my server, Pocket Pixels, which will teach you how to install this mod if you've never heard of it, or if just you haven't played it in a while and want to get back into it, so you can install that. If you already had Pixelmon, updating is really simple. All you need to do is go into the mods folder in Minecraft and replace the old zip file with the new 3.0 update. So anyway, let's get started. As you can see, I've got the starters to begin us here. So we've got Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott, the Generation 5 starters. So when you reinstall the mod and begin a new single player world or enter a new server for the first time, these guys will now be there, as well as, of course, Chimchar and Torchic, which were not in the previous update for whatever reason, but now they're finally in the game. So here's a glimpse of Tepig, the fire starter, Snivy walking on over there. They all look really awesome. And let's check out, of course, the firefighting starters in Chimchar and Torchic. Torchic is always really small. I think that's actually the huge size. If you guys don't know, yeah, all the Pokemon have a growth rate, and this is actually the giant one. So after that, I believe the only other thing is enormous, and even still, Torchic is pretty dang small, but I guess that's how it's intended to be. And then, of course, we have Chimchar. Monferno is my favorite starter, or well, my favorite Pokemon, so Chimchar is my favorite starter, and kind of doesn't have a tail. I don't know if he's supposed to have a tail, but maybe just the fire is kind of disconnected from its body. It's a little bit strange. But starting off with the Pokemon that have received new models, we've got Bulbasaur here, and I think I'll include somewhere on the screen you'll see the old model for comparison there. So here's the new Bulbasaur model. I think it looks awesome, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but yeah, a couple of Pokemon actually have a walk cycle now. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab a rare candy, because sometimes Pokemon follow you around when you put a rare candy in front of them. So let's see if he actually obeys us here. There we go. Yeah, this one's one of the hovering ones, so he doesn't really have a walking animation. But as we get into some other Pokemon here, by the way, the PC system's kind of been updated, so it's a little bit easier to drag and drop the Pokemon in there. But as we get into Monferno here and Infernape and stuff, we'll see that they have new walking animations. So let's do the second evolutions of all of these guys, the same ones that I just brought out here, so we'll get to see those. And you'll see that Monferno, again, my favorite Pokemon ever, he's going to have a cool little walking cycle. Yeah, this guy does not have one, but there's Servine. Let's send out Monferno now, and you'll see he actually has a little walking animation. When we get into Blaziken, you'll see my absolute favorite thing in Pixelmon, but we'll get to that soon. Let's send out the other ones here. I'm actually going to recall Infernape, and we'll just send out the 3 Unova ones, the 5th generations. So yeah, I made them all relatively the same size, but if you actually go into the summary stage, as I said, they all have different growth rates. So yeah, you'll see this guy's actually huge, but I made them the size that I think they should kind of be, or would be in the anime or games, and so that they're all relatively the same size as well. So yeah, there's the 3 5th generation starters. If you guys are wondering, there are no 6th generation Pokemon in this update. The creator, or one of the developers actually, said that until they finish all the way up through 5th gen, or until 7th gen comes out, there will be no 6th gen Pokemon. So probably going to be a while for that. Yeah, but there's Combuskin, the other firefighting chicken Pokemon, and that one is actually one that's also really tiny for some reason. Torchic and Combuskin are really tiny, so I think that's actually the enormous growth rate. And then of course we have Ivysaur. I'll include the old model of that one as well. But yeah, Ivysaur, Bulbasaur, Venusaur, the last Kanto starters to receive an update, because they were, I mean, Blastoise and Charizard lines received updates a while ago, and now we finally have Bulbasaur line with the new updates. So they all look really awesome, and now we'll get into possibly some of my favorites here. Let's pull out Serperior, Samurott, and Emboar here just to show those off first, and then we'll get into Blaziken and Monferno, who have absolutely the best walking animations in the game right now. But you'll see Samurott is very, very big. I'm pretty sure that's the enormous growth rate, so he's a little bit bigger than the other two. Superior, not really paying attention right now. The peeled banana, but they all do look really awesome. I want Superior to kind of get out of the wall there so that we can actually see its tail animated completely, because I think the tail, no, okay, this is one of the ones that doesn't have a tail animation actually, but they all look awesome, really good compared to their game counterpart. Some of these actually look better than their counterparts in like X and Y even, I dare to say, because X and Y has kind of a cartoony feel, and obviously Minecraft is still, Pixelmon still retained their kind of blocky nature, but the new models are just so fantastic. And look at this animation, so awesome. Blaziken's got that Naruto ninja run, and Monferno kind of runs like a little monkey. Yeah, really awesome stuff. And then Monferno's tail also has the animation, which I thought Superior's tail would have, but not really. Let's take this off actually so that we can see the tail. But yeah, they all run really cool. Like, please look at the rare candy. Let's actually just put Blaziken, because Blaziken has my personal favorite. Come on, buddy. You don't want to run anymore? Okay, let's try to send him in and out again. There we go. Got a little glimpse of it. And seriously, there is rain like every second on this single player world that I'm playing on for some reason. But finally, we have Venusaur, a huge update on this guy. I really like him now. I didn't used to like Venusaur in Pixelmon just because, you know, I don't know, he didn't look very good, but now he looks absolutely gorgeous, and I'll show a comparison of that. You can also ride him, and you kind of ride inside his little plant, but he's pretty fast for being a Venusaur. You'd think he'd be pretty slow, but yeah, those are all of the starters. Now we're going to go a little bit faster through the rest of them, because there are a lot of Pokemon to cover, but this video will include all of them, so let's turbo through this. So let's start off with the two new legendary Pokemon introduced in 3.0. First off, we have Kyogre, the sea Pokemon, the giant sea whale. This is actually the enormous growth rate. So Kyogre, relatively small, especially when compared to Groudon. I believe that's the huge growth rate. So yeah, Groudon's enormous would probably reach the roof of this place. But yeah, there's Groudon and Kyogre, the only two new legendaries introduced for this update. I think the next one, they'll be including a bunch more, like Lugia, Ho-Oh, and the legendary dogs, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, but they decided to not include those in this update because they're actually going to have quests for how you get those. But there's Groudon and Kyogre looking really awesome. And of course, that goes with Rayquaza, which was already in the previous update. I'm also going to show you guys some of the Pokemon that have evolutions now. So Metalco is in the game, which means we can now get Scizor in there, as well as Wobbuffet, which Why-Not was already in the game, but now we have Wobbuffet. Don't really know why Wobbuffet wasn't in it before. I'm kind of sad that he doesn't have his cry, though, because Wobbuffet has probably one of my favorite cries ever, just like Wobbuffet, but it doesn't have it. Ampharos, for whatever reason, was not in the previous update when Mareep and Flappy were, but now we've got Ampharos, and she looks awesome. I wish there was a little bit of Mega Ampharos hair action going on right now, but unfortunately no. And the last one that wasn't really in it before is Mamoswine, where we had Piloswine and Swinub. So yeah, now we have Mamoswine, and I'm pretty sure you can ride this guy. Oh, I guess not. Yeah, a lot of the new Pokemon, actually, you can't ride them for some reason, even though, like, Mamoswine is rideable in X and Y, which is really cool. Actually, I didn't check if you could ride the Legendaries. Oh, you can actually ride the Legendaries. Cool, so you can actually fly around on Kyogre? No, it does not fly. It does hover, but, you know, you can use it in the water, and I'm sure that you'll be able to, you know, surf around in the water there. And Groudon, I'm pretty sure you can also ride if we can actually get on this guy, and he's not stuck in the wall like he was there. Yeah, we could ride on Groudon, but for some reason, you ride about 1,000,000 miles above his head, which is actually making me stuck in the ceiling, and there we go. Okay, no longer stuck in the ceiling. That's cool. But yeah, Groudon a little bit buggy there in the riding part. Now I'm gonna show off some other Pokemon that got updated evolutions. Well, Krokorok here actually has his friend Krookodile now. But one little thing about this is I think Krokorok now deserves a little model update, because he's not really up to par with his red brother here. So I'm pretty sure in the next update, you know, all of these next Pokemon that I'm going to show off are going to be receiving updates. Because just look at Krokorok. He looks good, but compared to Krookodile here, this guy is beast. He looks really awesome. Same thing kind of happened to Pidgeot, who got an amazing new update. Look at that new Pidgeot. I'll show the comparison of the old Pidgeot. But yeah, now Pidgeotto and Pidgey are going to need a little bit of an update. But yeah, just look at those. The talons are really detailed. The beak, The hair is flowing awesome. And the absolute best part about this guy is if we actually get on and ride him is this. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, well that's a little bit buggy, but look at that. The wingspan is there. It is absolutely awesome. And we can actually get a better look of it. Oh my gosh, if I just don't fly into the ceiling. There we go. Look at that Pidgeot flying animation. Absolutely awesome. I think one of my favorite rideable Pokemon now, just because of that new animation there. And the most drastically needed update now is gonna be Golbat. You're gonna get that award because just look at Crobat and compare that. Crobat, man, Golbat needs an update now, but Crobat is new to the game. I'm not sure if he evolves by Happiness. I'm pretty sure Happiness is in Pixelmon. Let's check it out. Yeah, so it probably evolves like the normal Crobat does, which is by Happiness. Some other new Pokemon that received updates. I'm not sure if Oddish actually got an update this patch or this version. I don't think so. But there's Oddish. What did get an update, though, is Gloom, because Gloom, even up to 2.5.7, was still its blocky texture. So there's the update for Gloom. A little bit drooling there, but, you know, that's just the way Gloom is. And, of course, we have Vileplume. Don't know if that one's been updated either, but we can get a little glimpse of its face there. It looks really awesome, the entire line. And a new introduction is Blossom, which is a little tiny cute one. I've always really liked Blossom, the best out of all three of these, actually, just because that Gloom, man. But yeah, Blossom is now in the game, which means that the Sunstone is also in it. And I believe I can get to show that off if I just pull that up here. But yeah, the Sunstone and Sunstone Shards are actually in the game. I don't know where Sunstone Shards spawn, but you can find Glooms and all that in the jungle biomes. But yeah, I haven't been mentioning where you find all of these Pokemon, but it should be pretty clear depending on what they are. Like normal type stuff usually spawns in the fields like Chansey here, which also needs a new update because now we have Blissey, which is actually rounded unlike Chansey there. But yeah, we have Blissey as a new Pokemon, and then, come on, look at the rare candy. There we go. Now they're interested. But yeah, Chansey needs a desperate update now. I mean, is that even an egg, or like, is that a stone slab thing? This one actually, well, it's kind of an egg. Close enough. Continuing with some more normal Pokemon and updated models, we've got Igglybuff, which is actually new, but the updated models of Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff to go along with it. So Igglybuff, super cute, another new baby Pokemon there, as well as the updates to some of our favorites, which are Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. Of course, Jigglypuff doesn't really sing in this version. Man, they are really into this rare candy. Oh my gosh, look at these guys going nuts over that. But some new Pokemon that got model updates are actually Magnemite and Magneton. These are, I think, the huge variants, so they're really, really small for some reason. Yeah, these are the huge growth, and they're still really, really tiny, but they got a model update. Looks really, really sweet now they're actually rounded. A lot of stuff is becoming a lot more rounded in these new updates. So yeah, Magnemite and Magneton. But a new Pokemon here is Magnezone. I'm not sure how it actually evolves in Pixelmon because, you know, normally Magnezone evolves by taking it to Chargestone Cave or I guess other areas. I'm not sure what it is in X and Y. In 4th gen it was, I think, Mount whatever the mountain is. Mortar? No, it wasn't Mortar. I don't remember. But not sure how it evolves here in Pixelmon, so I'm going to have to look that up. And you guys can also look it up probably on the wiki or something. It'll be there. But actually, that's kind of curious. I don't know how it would evolve here. Now let's go through the final few little model updates. First off is Lapras, looking awesome. This one was one that I always thought was a little bit outdated, and now it looks really, really cool. The riding is a little bit bonky. You kind of don't really ride on it, but maybe that's just because of the growth that it has. I'm not sure. But the model is awesome. You can ride it on land, which is a little strange, I will admit. But Lapras is looking beautiful. And then the other two new model updates that we have, which are a little strange because they're 3rd gen Pokemon, and I thought they looked okay, are Solrock and Lunatone. Solrock actually was very, very square before, so actually this guy deserved an update. But Lunatone just kind of smoothed out a little bit and just looks a lot cleaner. So those two Pokemon, model updates there. But you can see on my party, or in my party, some new Pokemon, some new evolutions, which just like Scizor, who now has the metal coat, we have the Electorizer in the game to get Electivire from our Electabuzz. And he is looking really, really awesome. Maybe one of my new favorite models from the game. So might just have to set up an electric gym over on Pocket Pixels, which is my server, by the way, if you want to check that out. Also in the description. Yeah, both of these guys actually look really awesome. They've always been kind of some of my favorites. And look at them just having this stare down contest. Oh man, this is awesome. Let's throw a little mix in here with Rhyperior. Oh my god, he is huge. Look at this guy. He is, wow, that guy is beastly huge. Look at him. I don't know what kind of growth that is, but he is in the game now, and he looks pretty sweet. I like him. So yeah, Metal Coat. What's the Rhyperior thing called? I think it's called, oh gosh, I don't remember what the Rhyperior evolution item is called, but I'm sure that that's in the game as well. If we can find where the Electorizer actually is. It is the Protector, as well as the upgrades. Yeah, Porygon 2 and Z are in the game, and we'll show those off in a little bit. And now that we're done with all the model updates, let's get into a few random Pokemon. First off is Stantler, one of my, I don't know, he's a really cool Pokemon. He's kind of underrated, but I guess he doesn't have an evolution, so a lot of people don't really use him. Are you serious? Well, thank you, Stantler, for glitching me out of our beautiful setup that I made for showing you guys off. That's really awesome of you, but one of my favorite riding Pokemon now in Pixelmon. Please stop it. Okay, there we go. Now we can, oh my goodness. Stantler, there we go. But yeah, he goes very, very fast, and I think he like jumps over some of the ridges and blocks, so he looks really, really cool. That's Stantler, and then we have Tropius, flying. I think you can fly on him. Whoa, okay, well, it's a little buggy there, but yeah, you can fly on him. He doesn't have a flying, oh, he does have a flying animation. Never mind, let's see if we can get a better look at that. Not really, but you get a little glimpse of what it looks like. He's got a cool flying animation there. And just some random ones, we've got the Litwick line. We actually have a lot of 5th generation Pokemon in this update. So let's start it off with the Litwick line. So you can see the little Litwick there, the candle. As we send them out, there's the creepy Minecraft music. But yeah, I really like the effect that they did with the candle part, or I guess the flame part, because it's spinning around. And actually, I think all of them have that. So yeah, the Minora Pokemon Chandelure here, he's got the little spinning flames as well. And then Lampent right in the middle there. These are actually some of my favorite Fire-type Pokemon, just overall of all time. And then a really random one that was added is Sableye, which, I don't know, I've always been a fan of Sableye. He's a very creepy Pokemon. I kind of hope that he got an evolution in X and Y, but his model is looking really crisp. You can see the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald on his back there. So actually, I guess that makes sense, because they did add the two 3rd generation Legendaries. So we have the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald Bandit himself, Sableye. And we're not even halfway done yet. We've got a whole slew of more Pokemon to go, so let's go with some bug types next. We have Ladybug and Ladian. I think these are actually really big growth sizes, so normally you'll find these a little bit smaller, but just kind of random 2nd generation bug Pokemon, Yanma and Yanmega. Yanma's got a cry. I like that. If you guys haven't noticed, not all of the Pokemon have cries, but yeah, Yanma a little bit bigger than Yanmega there. A little strange, but yeah, Yanmega, no cry there. But that's been added, which is the same as Mamoswine. You evolve it when it learns Ancient Power, so those have been added. I think there's one more that's like that, but I don't remember which one. But those two definitely are like that. And then Joltik and Galvantula, as I said, there's a lot of 5th generation Pokemon added, so these are pretty dang small. But Joltik's always been really cute in my opinion. And then, of course, the evolution Galvantula, really awesome Pokemon. So yeah, there's some bugs. The bugs do not end, however, as we have the entire cast of bug starter Pokemon from the 5th generation. Sewaddle there, Swadloon over there, very, very small, and then Leavanny, which is also kind of small. I think this is one of the bigger variants, and it's still really, really tiny, but that makes sense, because even in the anime, I remember Ash had one, and it was really, really small. So, you know, I guess that is supposed to be that way. But yeah, those are bug and grass ones, and then we have the bug poison ones, which I actually am a little bit more of a fan of. Venipede and Whirlipede. Whirlipede is really cool because it spins like a Beyblade when you send it out. It's like, yeah, let me try and spin, but then it kind of just stops. And then Scolipede, a really awesome Pokemon. I don't think you can ride it, but imagine riding Scolipede, man. That would be awesome. But yeah, there's no abilities yet, so we can't have Scolipede boost, or sorry, speed boost Scolipede in here. I'm sure that'll be there eventually. Imagine riding Whirlipede, actually, like spinning like a wheel, like that Kirby power-up. But yeah, those are the other bugs of 5th generation. Actually, I spoke too soon. Some more 5th gen bug Pokemon want to say hello. Larvesta and Volcarona. Volcarona not rideable. Well, it doesn't really look rideable anyway, but he does have a badass model. Really awesome Pokemon, kind of a pseudo-legendary of 5th gen. So yeah, he looks really, really tight. And then we have Larvesta, who I think you can find running around in the jungle and then evolve it, but it evolves at a really, really high level, so good luck with that, but those are in the game. And I've also brought along a bunch of the Scorpion sort of Pokemon. We have Gligar and Gliscor, which are not really scorpions, but they do have, I guess, scorpion tails. They're flying scorpion bats, we'll call them that. But yeah, they glide around, which I think they're not supposed to. They're supposed to, well, they're not supposed to hover, I guess, but they're supposed to just only be able to glide. But they do look really, really cool, so I'm not really going to say anything about that. The animation is super awesome for the tails, and wrapping up our scorpion Pokemon, of course, we have Skarner and Skarner 2. So there's little Skarner there. He's actually really tiny. That's probably one of the smaller variants of that one. Let's check real quick. Yeah, it's a small one. By the way, Rapira was huge, so it can get even bigger than the one I showed you guys. But yeah, these two look pretty awesome. Whenever I think we're almost done with the 5th gen stuff, they just keep on coming. Now we have Cottony and Whimsicott. Cottony's pretty small. Actually, I think Whimsicott's just big, because almost every Cottony I spawned was pretty small. But there's Whimsicott. The bigger one, you get to see the model better, so I always like them when they're bigger. I think that applies to a lot of things, but we won't get into that. Here's Solosis, Duocean, Reuniclus. I don't know if Reuniclus is small. I think it was. Yeah, it's a runt, so it can get a lot bigger than that, but Solosis, on the other hand, you can see how small it is, and that's actually one of the bigger variants of it. So Solosis, a really, really small Pokemon, though it is supposed to be based on a cell, I guess, so I guess you'd think it's pretty small. And another Psychic type 5th generation Sigilyph, one of the odd ones out. I don't know, this one's just kind of like randomly thrown in there. I guess kind of like Sableye, but he does look pretty cool and flies around and doesn't afraid of anything. So here he is. And let's wrap up the 5th gen party with Cryogonal. Another odd one out there. I don't know. He looks really awesome though. I mean, he's just always been a very strange Pokemon in my opinion. Look at that face. It's like, it's kind of smiling, but also sad. And it's a snowflake, which is really strange, but some water-type 3rd generation Pokemon actually made it through. So Carvanha first up, and of course its evolution Sharpedo, which looks awesome. Sharpedo, really, really badass, so, maybe I'll make a water-type gym too and have Sharpedo, because I've always been a really big fan of Sharpedo. I think Water Dark is an awesome typing. And, in case you guys have never noticed, Garchomp, I think, was originally meant to be part of this evolution line, but somehow they ended up putting it in 4th generation. But yeah, don't these guys look like they'd evolve into Garchomp eventually? Yeah, that's just a little, I guess, a really known fact now, but used to be a little known fact and then everyone spread it. But yeah, Spheal line now, all look really cool. I think these are the standard sizes for them, which makes sense. But yeah, no cries on any of these guys actually, but there they are. Spheal, really, really cute Pokemon. I've always really liked Spheal. Look at it, look at his little face. Stop turning around, buddy, come on. Look at the rare candy. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. And then Walrein, the beast. And, well, this one. Celio. I didn't remember your name, buddy. Just one more box of Pokemon to go. Next up, we're going to have a cuteness overload as we have 2 of the new, I guess, electric rodent Pokemon. Now the only one we're actually missing is Dedan, and we're probably not going to have it for a while, but there is Plusle and Minun. Super duper cute. I've always been a big fan of these. Out of all of the little rodent Pokemon, these have always been one of my favorites because I really like the 3rd generation. So if they'll actually look at the rare candy here, you can see they're different sizes. I couldn't get the same one, but they look really awesome. And then, of course, we have Pachirisu, looking cool, and Emolga, the flying Pachirisu. So yeah, both of them really, really similar models. I think they actually might even use the same head there. Because, yeah, they have literally the same head, just a different smile. Jesus, what the? Did you guys conjure up lightning? Like, I sent out these 2 cute little rodents, and then they just start conjuring up all this lightning. But yeah, Emolga actually flies, and if we can get it to fly, I'd be very happy. Come on, Emolga. Follow the rare candy, buddy. Come, hey, I have a rare candy, man. Come on. Oh my gosh, why won't he fly? Please, Emolga. Oh man, but yeah, he looks really cute when he flies, and I guess I can't get him to do it, which is a little unfortunate. So let's just wrap it up with another cutesy here. We've got Zorua, and of course the awesome evolution of Zoroark. 2 fan favorites. I'm not sure why Lucario and Riolu didn't make it in when these guys did, because I think they're really similar Pokemon. But yeah, Zoroark is in it, a Pokemon a lot of people really like. So there he is with his Super Saiyan 4 hair, and there's no abilities yet, so yeah, when you use that in battle, it won't have his ability. But he's in the game, so that'll be coming soon. So I actually missed a Pokemon model update, and I've just noticed. First off is that Munchlax, I believe, a new addition, But we have an update to Snorlax. Now he's actually rounded like a lot of the other ones you saw. They're not square box Pokemon anymore. Now we have the rounded, but still very, very blocky Snorlax, which looks really, really cool. I think this is actually one of the smaller variants, so he gets even bigger. Okay, no, that's a giant, but imagine the enormous Snorlax. That thing would almost reach the roof. But if he can get out of the way, we can take a look at Munchlax. You can have that rare candy. There you go. I know you love eating, so you can have that one. No, you're just literally going to turn your head away from it. Okay, I guess he's trying to lose some weight and make a new evolution to the Snorlax line where they're actually super duper fit. That's probably not going to happen. But another of my favorite 5th generation Pokemon, we've got Golett and Golurk. Golett pretty small, but Golurk, the Iron Giant, pretty awesome. I don't think you can ride on it yet, but they should definitely make it so that you can ride it, and then it has his flying form, which if you guys never saw that anime movie, I think it was the Victini one, Golurk could fly, and it basically, like, its legs crawl up into this slot, and then it's, like, shoots fire like a rocket, and it's really awesome. And also out of his hands, I think it shoots fire. So yeah, that's how Golurk flies, apparently. So I hope that's in the game eventually. That would be really awesome. But Pawniard and Bisharp, some more 5th generation Pokemon making it in it. If you ever run into these guys in the wild, I've seen them in the jungle, and they'll actually fight each other. Since they're both on my team right now, they're not going to do that. But yeah, they're staring at each other, so I guess also... Oh yeah, look at that. They're looking to fight. You can hear something outside, and they are looking straight at it. So yeah, these Pokemon really, really like to fight, so whenever they see something in the wild, they'll be fighting it. We're almost done here. Next off, let's show off some of my favorite new models as well. Well, specifically Luxray, because he just looks so cool. I'm a big fan of a lot of the 4-legged standing Pokemon in this update, but yeah, I've always been a big fan of like cats and tigers and stuff like that, so Luxray definitely awesome. His tail doesn't really move around that much. Yeah, it doesn't move at all, actually, so that would be pretty cool to add, but his model is still awesome, and, oh, he does actually have a little bit of a walk animation, but it would be really cool if he walked around kind of like Monferno does, like, ran like a cheetah that he is. But yeah, Shink's pretty small, Luxio pretty small, they're both really cute, though, but yeah, Luxray, awesome Pokemon. That's, like, my highlight of this trio here, but we have another trio, which... one of them was already in the game, that's Porygon. There's not really any update to it, but I'd never seen it before, so I thought I'd put it in the video, and also to compare it to its other counterparts. But yeah, Porygon has an old model, but you know, it's Porygon, so it's like the one Pokemon that no matter how much you update it in Minecraft, it just fits in. But yeah, the little bit more rounded Porygon 2 here we have. That's one of its evolutions. With the upgrade, you can get that, and then with the Dubious Disc, you can get Porygon Z, which, not really super animated, but I'm sure that in future updates we'll see some awesome animations for this Pokemon, because that's one of his like specialties whenever he's in the games, is like his sprite is super duper animated and awesome, but kind of creeping me out actually. Porygon Z, I wanna... Can you get out of here? Thank you. Alright, so now we have some more 5th gen stuff, some rock types. We have, of course, the Pencil Sharpener, Roggenrola, along with his evolution, Boldore, which does have a cry. So let's give that a listen here. I think it just sounds so funny. It's like a little kid just going, Boldore, Boldore. It's hilarious, but Gigalith also in it. That might be one of the smaller variants, because as far as I know... Gigalith is supposed to be a pretty big Pokemon, but yeah, it's an ordinary size, I guess. But there's that line, looking pretty awesome. Gigalith has always been pretty weird to me. Looks weird even here. But yeah, some other rock types we have is Dwebble and Crustle. I've always been a big fan of these guys, because, I don't know, Crustle's face is just so awesome. It's so derpy looking. Oh, man. And yeah, then he has his big rock on his back. You can't break that off. But he can break off some bones with his big pincers in battle. And then Dwebble, his eyes look kind of weird, but he's still an awesome Pokemon there. And to wrap it up, we've got Politoed, not a 5th gen Pokemon. But how does this guy evolve? Oh yeah, King's Rock is now in the game, so you can evolve that. King's Rock does not have whatever you call it, a little sprite for it. That's strange, but that is in the game now, so you can get Politoed, and his little antenna actually moves. Would have been cool. Again, if Luxray's tail moved, man, that would have been awesome, but can't complain. The model is still super duper cool. So let's wrap it up with the absolute best Pokemon ever created. Kling, Clang, and Kling Clang, as well as the a little bit less exciting Bagon line. So we've got Bagon, Shelgon, and of course Salamence, but nobody cares about those. We care about the Clang Clang. Actually, Salamence looks really badass, I'm not gonna lie. You can't ride it, unfortunately, but, you know, that'll definitely be in the next update, so we'll be able to ride around Salamence. Just look at him. This is actually one of the smaller sizes, too, so you can get a huge Salamence going. But the main attractions, the best Pokemon in Pixelmon 3.0, Clink, Clang, and Cling Clang. Look at them. They're lagging out my game just because of how awesome they are. But seriously, these guys do have a really cool animation. I'm not going to lie. I know I don't like these Pokemon and they're in my top 10 worst designs, but they look absolutely awesome in Pixelmon. So maybe this is a little bit of redemption. Pixelmon are actually redeeming this Pokemon line for me. And you can actually get the 360 view of them. So yeah, maybe a little bit of redemption there. They definitely look cool. Just look at the animation. My goodness, that is awesome. So that wraps up all of the new Pokemon that are found in Pixelmon 3.0. If you guys would like to check it out, in the description I'll have the download for the mod, as well as my server Pocket Pixels, which is officially running the 3.0 update. So if you want to play with a bunch of other viewers and just an awesome community, we have some gyms that you can challenge and they'll all be updated with the new Pokemon soon. So if you want to check that out, that is down in the description. Check out all the other links down there and be sure to subscribe if you want to see some more Pixelmon stuff. I'm actually going to try and start a series where it is going to be trying to catch all of the Pokemon, since now there are actually achievements. Where do we look up the achievements? There we go. There's actually achievements for Pixelmon, including Pokédex completion. So I'm going to try and do a series on completing the Pokédex. So if you want to stay tuned for that, as well as my Pocket Pixels server adventure series, be sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you guys next time.